What's really going on? Let's let's get busy. Doing what? Discussing boxing. Coach Jack Daniels of the Boxing Trainers Channel. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Look, I had made mention a few days ago. In fact, it was a few days ago when I first started talking about what I was going to do when it came to the female boxing and the validity associated with female boxing and the sport of boxing, right? I was going to bring more female boxers to the forefront of my podcast when it comes to what they do. You know what I mean? Especially those on the higher echelon of the female boxing scheme of things. Like, look, I want to be the first to say that my love for the sport of boxing does not limit my ability to bring to the table when you're hungry, you gotta eat, right? Something appetizing, something that will feel my need for the moment, right? So I decided that it would be in the best interest of boxing, because I constantly say that, to me, boxing is in a bad state, and it is up to each and every one of us that have a compelling interest, right, to represent the sport of boxing, right? It is incumbent upon each and every one of us to find something interesting to note when it comes to the sport of boxing, right? Now, I sometimes make mention of political events, and I think that political events, especially as it pertains to boxing, are very important. Why? Because today there is a lot of politics in the sport of boxing. Today, politics rule in the sport of boxing. Now, whether that's right or wrong is yet to be determined. But the people, heard what I said? I said you and me. The people makes those and every other decision when it comes to boxing and world events. You know what I mean? I think sometimes that people get caught up in their own personal warfare with themselves, right? And don't take notice of the fact that it is the people that call the shots in world and current events. It is the people who elect the officials to go in to office and represent what we, the people, want them to do. So the same thing, the same philosophy, right, is attached to boxing. It's political. You know what I mean? But today, we're going to kind of like ease back into boxing and talk boxing and not be so adamant today about politics. I say politics, right? That is a legitimate word, politics. I'm quite sure that we don't hear that word that much, right? But it is legitimate, politics. But April the 5th, Sunday, right? Now, I made mention to a fight being on a Sunday last week, and I called it a little hell, right? Because the people wanted to know, why was that not a good night for boxing, right? And I was of the opinion, right, it's Friday and Saturday, you know what I mean, that was the most lucrative days, in my opinion, that people view boxing, right? On a Sunday, people, you know what I'm saying, coming off hangovers, right? And they basically want to get ready for work the next day, right? So they want to kick back. You know what I mean? They would rather, in my opinion, I know I would rather see boxing, especially a world-class boxing on a Friday or Saturday. But I will say a step to the side and give credence to the fact that there's nothing wrong with hosting boxing on a Sunday. Okay? I said it, right? But now, this Sunday, April 5th, in the UK, specifically in Okay, Olympia Kingston, the UK, right? We have a unification bout between two females, right? One, I mean, I'm almost practically in love with Caroline Dubois, Daniel Dubois, the heavyweight's younger sister, right? She is the WBC lightweight female champion of the world, right? And her opponent, Terri Harper, right, is the WBO lightweight champion of the world, right? So we got the unification here, man. This is an important bout, right? And I noticed that Alyssa Gardner was making comments about Carolyn Dubois, right? In the sense, what really amazed me about the comment that Lisa Baumgartner used to speak on Caroline Dubois was the functional equivalent of what Teofimo Lopez told Devin the Dream Haney about he had 5 to 10 years before they can make a fight, right? I mean, in actuality, that was nothing more than a duck. But what's important in this instance is Elisa Baumgartner said the same thing exactly about Caroline Dubois, right? She hasn't made enough bones to be in a position where she, because Caroline Dubois said she wants to smoke. She wants some smoke from Elisa Baumgartner, right? Now we all know that Elisa Baumgartner is the what super featherweight champion of the world, right? She is undisputed, actually, right? So that type of smoke, right, being encouraged by Caroline Dubois is, you know what I mean? That's practical common sense analogy as far as Caroline Dubois is concerned, because she wants to smoke, basically, given the fact that Alice Baumgartner is the smoke and she's undisputed. So, quite naturally, for a 25-year-old lightweight champion, WBC champion, it would be common sense analogy for her to want to fight Alice Baumgartner. I know I would if I was still in the game, right? Kill a head, the body goes, right? So I gave a lot of respect to Caroline Dubois because, again, she wants all the smoke. And she's a young chick. She's 25 years of age. She's short too. 5'5" with a 66.2-inch arm reach. She's a southpaw, 12 wins, 5 by knockout. She has no losses, never been stopped, no draws, right? And again, she is ranked, like, I want to say number one. She has to be ranked number one with the Ring Magazine because of her undisputed record. Not undisputed, undefeated record. She's never been beaten, right? There's a lot of people that have been clamoring to get at Caroline. And I don't want to really understand that because she only has 12 fights. But then again, she has that belt. So, I mean, I guess that tops all. But the fact of the matter is, she's a man. I took time for y'all and Nika. And then this is what I do, right? You know what I'm saying? When I come on and I say, man, that girl is tough, right? That ain't because I had a conversation with a promoter or a manager or a trainer, right? I go to the source and pull up documents to establish what I think that person can do or can't do, right? And in the instance as it pertains to Caroline Dubois, hey man, look here, man. Caroline Dubois is, like I said, she's a young chick, right? And as most youngsters, right, they have an itching to get somewhere in life, right? And look, Caroline Dubois is no exception, right? She is trying to get somewhere in life. And look, and she is using boxing to do it. And in my opinion, she's doing a damn good job at it, right? She only has 12 fights, 5 knockouts, right? But she's the WBC lightweight champion in the world, as is the case with her opponent, who is the WBO lightweight champion of the world, right? Terri Harper is 29 years of age. She's 5'9" with a 65-inch arm reach. She's a right-hander, 16 wins, 6 by knockout. 2 losses. She's been stopped twice in those 2 losses, and she has 2 draws. Damn, she's been busy, right? But here's the thing: I took notice when I did the intel on Terri Harper that she had been in the ring and got demolished by Elisa Baumgardner. Elisa Baumgardner knocked her out. I believe it was like the 8th round in a championship fight, right? So I'm quite sure that's one of the losses, and that's also one of the stops. I'm not certain about the second one because I didn't take interest in. I don't take interest in losses, but doing what I do, I have to to make exceptions to the rules, right? Quite sure you guys understand that. If you want to be good at what you're doing in this area, in this field, right? The feedback about these fighters or these boxers, right, is of the utmost important. You want to know. I want to know. That's why I go search it out, man. Look, I'm just going to say that this fight is, in my opinion, a must-see fight, right? You want to see, first of all, you should pay more attention, like I said, to females in the game, right? Because like it or not, they starting to make their bones in the game, man. You know what I mean? They got some. Now, actually speaking, I had no knowledge of Caroline Dubois. I had heard her name mentioned maybe once or twice, but I paid no attention to it, right? It was just, that's Caroline Dubois. That's Daniel Dubois' one of Daniel Dubois' sisters, right? And that was it, right? But then, a couple of days ago, her name came up again. I went to the screen and I pulled her up and I said, damn, not only is she a bad mama jamma, facially, especially wise, she's cute, very cute. Very, no. She's very beautiful, right? She's a shouting and very beautiful, right? But she can also box, you know what I'm saying? And all her energy at this juncture, which is a damn good thing for boxing and for her, right, is on boxing. It ain't on men. It ain't on clothes. It ain't on none of that stuff that we seem to become so easily attracted to that prevents us from having our own successes. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you hear me? I'm telling you that what she doing, maybe, especially when it comes to my people, right? You might want to take some of her rationales, right, and implement it in the way you think, right? You want to get somewhere in life, man, ladies and gentlemen. You want to get somewhere in life, just like some of these boxers. Hey, look, I am actually really proud of the female boxers. No disrespect to the men boxers, but I believe in my heart that they do more to support the sport the men do, right? And if you take notice to what I'm about to tell you, you'll rationalize that it's true. If you listen to females when they're bickering back and forth, they don't go all out of sorts using the terminology and the verbs as men boxers do, man. Some of these dudes get on my man. Look, I'm gonna say it like this here, I damn near said it the other day, right? Certain things that men boxers say to one another, right, in the name of promotional or being upset with a boxer, they say certain things as a man to another man that are actually killing words, man. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that literally, but from where I came from, man, some of the stuff that these dudes say to one another, and look, I'm just gonna leave it like this here, man. They ass would be held held accountable for. I mean, that's just the way it is with real men, man. We don't talk up under each other's clothes. We don't. And I remember an instance where I'm trying to think of that cat's name. He is Javante Takes Davis' coach, right? He said something derogatory and really nasty to Bill Haney, right? You know what I'm saying? Bill Haney is from the same spot on the globe that I'm from, right? So his response was like, I'm selling you, right? He totally wasn't having it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that is a man response, right? You're not going to invite me to your booty, right? And expect for me to be all right with that, man. Men don't do that, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm the point I'm trying to make to y'all, right, out there in the boxing world, boxers, train, whoever, right? Check your mouth, man. Check yourself before you be by yourself. It's an old term that we used to use back in the days, man. That I'm reinstituting it because I think it needs to be reinstituted, especially in the sport of boxing when it comes to that level of respect, man. Disrespect is not good in any form, as far as I'm concerned. As an older adult, right? As a senior in life, as a senior in the sport, as a senior in the game, man. You know what I'm saying? So look, man. I can't wait until Sunday the 5th, Sunday, April 5th, 2026, man. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be a hell of a fight. And I would think if you love the sport of boxing, the way you pretend that you love the sport of boxing, right? You will check that out. Shout out to the chat. What's going on? Home reckon, knee knocker. What's going on, brother? They didn't? Wow. Very interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that. Shout out to Home Reckon knee knocker, right? He said Daniel, wait a minute, hold on. Much bigger and many outbox Dubois. Okay. Daniel didn't speak to each other. What do you mean by that? I'm curious to that, cause much bigger and many. I don't know, man. Home record. I would like an explanation for that comment, brother, if you don't mind. Right? You said Boyce and Daniel. See, I don't get that. Much bigger and may outbox Du Bois. Oh, okay. I got it. You think? You think? Well, I mean, that is something to think about in that particular fight because she is 5'9". You know what I mean? And Caroline is 5'5", right? That is a very interesting state of consciousness as far as home wrecking, knee knocking is concerned, right? That's a very good analogy because she is like she got 4 feet on, and she got a inch or two on the reach side, right? But I'm just, hey. I'm not taking anything away from Terri Harper, right? She's a good boxer. I've seen it on some tape also, right? She's a damn good boxer, right? But I don't think that she has the skill set necessary. Now I could be wrong to beat Caroline, man. You know what I mean? You may have something there. You may have something there because I mean, legitimately speaking and scientifically speaking, that is a good point to be to raise, right? Is that Terri has a 4.2-inch arm reach. No, excuse me, height advantage. That is a lot. That's a lot. Now, here's the thing, though. Terri Harper is 5'9". Caroline Dubois is 5'5". Okay, 3'7", right? Height advantage, right? But when you look at the reach advantage, the height advantage, that's kind of, you know what I'm saying? That is kind of devastating, man. I mean, if you really into, you know what I'm saying, into boxing and you being analytical as far as your approach to the skill set and the height and reach differentiation, that is something to consider, right? But I am going to go out on a limb and say that I believe that Caroline Dubois has a distinctive advantage when it comes to skill set. Now, I could be wrong. Caroline Dubois is undefeated, right? She's never lost, right? She's undefeated. She's never lost. She's never been knocked out. She's never been stopped, right? So those things make a difference to me too, right? But I will grant you the fact that those 3.7-inch height advantage is something to consider. What y'all think? You know what I mean? Before I, you know what I'm saying, burn rubber, that was the term we used back in the day. We was getting ready to get up out of there, right? Before I burn rubber, I want to give a shout out to my fellow brothers, podcasters, right? I've been kind of like nudging them to do better, right, with their verbiage, with basically doing something to uplift the spirit of uh, those that have been, no, I want to say that, those that have been kicked around and disgraced. You know what I'm saying? What? I wish I could get some intel. I'm gonna try to get some intel on that. Good looking out. A shout out to Home Record, Knee Knocker, right? And he has always been a legitimate source of information for me, right? Obviously, he has put himself in a position with me that I think that he should be considered as a lover of the sport as I am, right? He is not a casual. He's a person that loves the sport of boxing, right? That's another term that they use. He's not a casual. I can't think of the word, but I'm quite sure you guys know what I mean. He's not a casual, but he's a person that really loves the sport of boxing. He said, um, "Good afternoon, Coach. They aren't on good terms and aren't currently speaking. Caroline and Daniel. I mean, that's kind of hard to digest, man. Brothers and sisters. I mean, hey, I'm glad you brought that up because you know, what I'm saying, I like to try to institute something um, positive, right, for y'all to grab hold to. You know what I'm saying? And this is the perfect opportunity for me to make a um, statement, right? And for those out there that have been in similar situations as Caroline and Daniel have been in, right? The reason for why brothers or sisters, black sisters and brothers, you know what I'm saying, cannot really relate to one another as they should because we have been trained to hate one another, right? You know what I'm saying? It was the old divide and conquer theory that was thrusted down our throat and enlarged in our behavior, right? And that was that the divide and conquer came out in the 1800s, right? I mean, I'm not going to go that far back, but I'm going to say it's old, right? The method, it's a method, right? It's called the divide and conquer, right? As if we can divide them, right, we can damn sure conquer them. And if y'all think about it, right, if y'all search for an explanation for why is it that we can't do nothing together, think about that. We can't do nothing together, right? But we can do if we can kill each other. You know what I'm saying? We can be critical of one another, right? We can talk trash talk. We can talk. I mean, there's no limit of the things that we can't do to one another, right? So the question that y'all need to ask yourself, and you know it's true, right? How in the hell did we get in a position where we do that? I just told you. I just told you, right? But y'all need to come to terms with how you gonna overcome that. Because until you overcome that obstacle, right, you will never be able to do anything as a unit like everybody else except us. Now, if that don't ring a bell, right, nothing will. You heard that on the Boxers Training Channel, man. You know, do something about it. You know what I mean? Be encouraged that you can do something about it. You know what I'm saying? Stop using excuses for why you can't change your behavior. You know what I'm saying? Look, boxing is a great thing. Love it, right? But I would love more, what I would love more, to see my people change their behavior and start being more receptive and more responsive to one another. Can you do that? Can you do that? That being said, man, I love you to death, and I mean that from the, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that ain't just like everybody. I love you, man. You my man. Look, mine is real, and I know y'all know that. You know it. You know what I'm saying? But do something greater than just know that I'm real. Do something about your behavior. That being said, man, hit that subscription button, hit the like button, share this video with your friends and relatives, man. And give me your opinion about Caroline Dubois. Do you think she's a good boxer or not? That being said, I am gone. Love you, people.